So I didn't get up like real early, though it's maybe 7 o'clock, maybe not even that late. Let's look. No, quarter to 7. I got camp tore down. Thought I'd come out and take a look at the sunrise. I mean, I didn't get out here when the sun come up, but it still is pretty. Oh yeah, that's bright. Yeah. So the road's really flat today, and I know you can't see it through the trees to the left, but the lake's just on the other side of the houses. It was nice and cool, nice day for a ride. So today's good. I was looking at the weather. Tomorrow, there's rain. There's chances of rain. It looks like it's spotty at best. So that might be all right. But the day after that, they're talking about thunderstorms. So I kind of have to try to figure out what I'm going to do about that. But we'll wait till that day gets a little closer. And if I'm lucky, I look on Google Maps, but there's all these little small resorts, mom and pop places that aren't on the internet. So if the weather gets bad, I guess just pop in one of those and then just ride the storm out at a little mom and pop roadside resort, on 23 here. So yeah, but we'll worry about that later. So yeah, just keep pedaling through here. So I'm getting closer to Oscoda. I didn't ride all the way up there, but that's the old Kmart store. Looks like it closed down, and just when the population left, even Kmart couldn't survive. So Mom and Dad came up here to visit Jackie and I remember we went to church here at the Trinity Lutheran Church right here on 23. It's a Missouri Synod. Just memories flowing. Oh, I remember this Burger King being here. Jackie and I, we would sit out in the parking lot. We'd get our food, and the seagulls would come and try to beg for food, and we would throw French fries out the window, and then before long you had all the seagulls all the way around the car wanting French fries. So that's kind of funny. Another memory from down here. Go this way to get to the base. Yep, I remember that. I hope you do too, dear. The party store to the right, still operating. I remember that. That is something. So I'm getting ready to turn to go on base. They kind of moved things around. In between the two roads here, you had the guard shack where you had to show your ID and get checked in. And then right here, when we would have visitors come in, this building off to the right is where the SPs would set up and give visitor passes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember this circle here. I remember volunteering to do a Reveille ceremony in dress blues. Just felt honored to do it. A lot of people didn't want to do it, so they wouldn't volunteer for it. And I remember that, doing that there. You would turn on this street right here. I'm going to turn on it. Oh, wow. This is hard. This was a street that Mike and Cassie lived on. I never got sick while I was at Wurtsmith, where I had to go to the hospital, but I did have to come here, and I remember it was Dr. Brock Miller. He was a lieutenant colonel. I had to have a root canal done. I'd cracked a tooth, and Dr. Miller, that's what I called him, even though he was a colonel. I respected him both ways as an officer, but more as a dentist. Hooked me up, and you know, that root canal is still the tooth is still there, Dr. Miller. So right here, this building to the left, that was the BX. For those of you who didn't know, it was the base exchange. It was kind of like had a little restaurant, you know, kind of like a department store. And then this here building, which is now Coletta Maintenance, was the commissary. So this was the base grocery store right here. So the building here to the right was the base gym, I believe. Pretty sure it was, if I remember right. And one of the things that I remember about the base gym was I always worked the 3 to 11 shift. That's when the airplanes came down. We did a lot of maintenance. I really liked working that shift. But after we'd get off work at 11 o'clock, we would go to the gym and play volleyball. Volleyball was playing volleyball using the walls inside a racquetball court. And oh, was it fun. And we would play till 1 o'clock in the morning playing volleyball. So these 3 buildings off here to the right was where they kept the AGE equipment. AGE stands for Aerospace Ground Equipment. So that was the equipment that would use to start the airplanes, generators, and stuff like that, that we used out on the flight line. I was able to get a little closer over here, just so you could see the docks. Oh, this is nice. This is precious. So, okay, like I said earlier, Dock 2 was Tanker Branch, and that's where the squadron commander was at. Dock 4, the one in the middle, was Specialist Branch. That's where the dock or the hangar that I worked out of. And then down on the very end, the furthest building down there, the tallest one on the right there, that was a new fuel cell building that was built not long before the base closed. So it was a state-of-the-art facility. You had to have special training just to go in there, because if a fire kicked off, the suppression system would kill you, because it would smother you, and you for the oxygen. So it filled the place up with foam and stuff like that. So you had to learn you had to know where the exits were, almost blindfoldedly, to get out of the building. So just, okay, this is interesting. So, all right. So the housing that you see on my right, we called that 10,000 housing. So it was all the style housing like that. And then this housing that you see on the left, that was the 9,000 area of housing. So I remember my first supervisor, when I came to Wurtsmith, the first person to come over to visit me in billeting was Chris Cohen. Chris was a very, very smart technician, very smart person. And he lived in the 9,000 area. Now, where at exactly, I don't remember. I like to see, I'm glad they got the street signs back up, because I can find my house where I lived when I was here. But I lived in the 8,000 area. So, again, I want to say Mike and Cassie might have moved, too, from where they were at over here into the 10,000 area. So if Mike comments on the video, it would be interesting to know. But yeah, oh boy, this just brings back some really good memories. So if you look down at the ground, that sidewalk right there, and to the left of that sidewalk, straight ahead, is where Jackie and I lived when we were here at Wurtsmith. We were the last people to live here at 8711C Utah Street, Wurtsmith Air Force Base, Michigan. Down the end here, the building there, so it's A, B, C. Down on the very end building, if you watched my 2025 Northern Tier route, when I caught up with Matt Fisher over in Minnesota, Matt and Wendy lived in 8711A. So Matt and I went to Idaho together as well. Across the street here, right here, I'm friends with him on Facebook if I remember to get a hold of him to tell him to watch the video. Straight across the street from me, on the other, so you got the driveway there, so the apartment was right there. Mark Gittimer was in guidance control, and he lived right there. So that was, we all worked in OMS, the organization, 379th Organizational Maintenance Squadron. But I had a Siberian Husky, and he loved to pull. We got him when we lived here, Zach, and he went all the way back to Greenville with us. Zach loved to pull. I got him a pulling harness, and he'd pull me around base on a skateboard. Yeah, it's too bad the buildings are tore down. It would have been kind of neat to see. But Matt and Mark, you know, this was our neighborhood. I think I remember correctly now, it was Willie Legg, one of the guys in the ComNav shop. Him and Dawn got married. They're still married, live out in Utah somewhere. But I believe Willie and Dawn lived over in the 10,000 area when they got married, if I remember right. So, Willie, if you're watching, if that's right, let me know. Now I'm here on Vermont Street. A friend of mine and co-worker in the ComNav shop, Steve and Kim Mazer, lived over here, and he had two boys, Stevie and Mikey. I remember Zach got loose and Kim lured him in the house, and then we were able to catch Zach, but couldn't catch him. But I know, Steve, you're probably watching, but yeah, somewhere in this space here, you guys lived on base, just not too far from where I was at. Jackie, you remember this? This Little Caesars shop. There was like 10 chairs in there, and it's still open. We used to come here and get pizza. So it's kind of interesting. 34 years ago, Little Caesars was there. I remember the Burger King. Some of the Napa Auto Parts I do remember. I don't remember the McDonald's being there, but yeah, it's something here. Then Jackie lived in Aldersgate Apartments off of River Road. So we moved into these apartments in 1988. I remember where the office is just up here. It was in the back here. And then Aldersgate 2, which is in the next set of apartments over that way, Willie and Dawn Legg moved into there when those guys got married. So yeah, there's the old office right there with the silo looking for the office door there. And then our apartment that we lived in You would turn in here. I got a story about this trash dumpster here. So let me get over here. I can show you exactly where we were at. So this was the apartment that Jackie and I lived in. So I don't remember the number, but I remember you went in the stairway here to the right, went upstairs, and our apartment was the second floor straight in front of us where we were at. So I remember we got a Christmas tree and the thing was dead. And you could, and we had the skirt around the Christmas tree, and you could hear the stuff falling to the ground, hitting the thing that was around the base of the tree. It was so dead that when I dragged the tree out of the apartment, out of the door and over to the dumpster that I'm going to pass here in a second. I don't want to run over her car. But I drug that Christmas tree all the way over here. Hello. All the way over here and threw it in the dumpster. And you could see the path of needles all the way here. So you knew where the tree came from. So one goofy memory from Aldersgate Apartments. And I hope you can see it through the fence since my well, let me do this. Let me take the camera out. Okay, the Au River, which kind of runs through Oscoda. A lot of people always fished it. And Lake Huron off in the distance there. So there was a nice bike path leaving Oscoda, so I jumped on it just to get off the road, but it doesn't take me all the way to Tawas, but bike path's better than sharing the road with the cars. So the next stop though, and probably the next section in the video, will be Tawas State Park. I did something different, but we'll see what happens when we get there. So you'll be as surprised as much as I will if it works out the way it's supposed to. So let's see what happens. So I'm out on a point out in the bay here at Tawas Point State Park, and the Coast Guard is here as well. So gonna go get my site for tonight up here at the campground office. And yeah, man, this is really, 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 really nice. So while I have the opportunity, and it's still available, I'm going to take a tour of the Tawas Point Lighthouse. So this will be fun and interesting.